Hello, my name is Andrew Briggs, and today we'll be working on how to practice and perform Piatti's Caprice number 7, the Maestoso. So the challenge of this caprice is we are given a series of repeated arpeggios that can make us tired and fatigued if we don't use our body in the most efficient manner. So to build this efficiency, we need to draw power from the ground. And our relationship to the ground is mainly through the legs and feet. So let's go ahead and focus in on how our feet are resting on the ground. And just notice, how do they feel, where are they sitting? And as you draw more awareness to your feet, let's go ahead and lift the heels off the ground and then lower them back down. And do this a few times so you can really experience what this movement feels like. If this feels easy for you, if it's smooth, how is your ankle functioning to allow the lift of the heels? And how are you breathing while you're moving the heels up and down? And as the movement of the heels becomes more familiar, let's go ahead and move on to lifting and lowering the toes. So lifting and lowering the toes also uses the ankle, but in a much different way. So as I lift the toes, the ankle in the front is contracting and then expands as I lower back down. And notice, is this easier for you than the heels or more challenging? And what is the quality of the movement? Is it smooth or is it not so smooth? And as this becomes more familiar, let's go ahead and move back and forth between lifting the heels and the toes. And you can see as we lower the toes, the heels lift, and vice versa, in kind of a rocking motion. And see if this rocking motion can be very smooth. And also notice, how are you breathing while you're doing this? So let's combine this lifting of the heels and toes with the opening of Piatti's Caprice number 7. So I am going to start by lifting the toes on every up bow and then lifting the heels on every down bow. So I will do this very slowly at first so I can sync up the movement with the opening of the Caprice. So that was one version. Notice, was that easy or challenging for you? How did lifting and lowering the toes and heels affect the sound quality? And also notice, if the heels and toes, if they're moving smoothly, does that change the quality of the performance of the Caprice? So let's now reverse the movement. So I'm going to lift the heels on the up bows and then lift the toes on the down bows. So here is the second version. Okay, now is this version easier or more challenging for you? Did you like the sound quality better on this version? Was it different at all? And then was the movement of lifting the toes and heels smooth or not as smooth this time? So let's move on up to the knees and the legs. And so what we're going to do is, first off, notice, how do your knees feel? And how do the bend of the knees affect the placement of the feet? So let's go ahead and open up the knees so that our feet can extend farther away from our body. And still keep both the heels and toes on the ground so you feel grounded. But now our feet are much farther away from our body than our original position. So let's try playing the Caprice like this and see what happens. So that was with our feet extended far out. Let's now bring the feet very close to our bodies by bending the knees in. Still keep both the heels and toes on the ground, but now the feet are very close to our sit bones, to the base of our chair. And now let's play the opening of the Caprice in this fashion. So again, notice the differences between this version and the first version, and what changed in the sound and what changed in the movement of the rest of your body. So now let's move in between the two extremes, so far out away from the body and close in, and go ahead and move back and forth between them, getting smaller and smaller in the movement until you find a place somewhere in the middle that your feet feel very grounded and you feel comfortable as you sit. And once you feel grounded, go ahead and play the opening again to see if this is your ideal version. Okay, so notice again the change in the sound, the change in the quality of your movement, and if this doesn't feel ideal to you, go ahead and continue experimenting with the placement of the feet to see what changes in your sound. Okay, one final thing to think about is our heels and toes moved up and down, but now let's rotate them in and out. So I'm going to rotate my heels so that they are pointed in towards each other. And notice how the whole leg has to rotate to support this rotation of the heels. And can you sense where this rotation begins? Can you sense all the way up your leg into the hips and feel how your hips are when the heels are rotated in towards each other? Let's now play the opening of the Caprice in this fashion. Okay, again, take note of the quality of the sound and the quality of the movement, and let's go ahead and rotate our feet in the opposite direction. So now the toes are going to point in. Again, feel how the whole leg is rotating to support this rotation of the toes, and then also feel within the hip joints how they feel now with the toes more close together. Again, let's play the opening of the Caprice. Again, notice the change in sound, the change in quality, if there's any, and if there's a version that you prefer. And now, again, let's rotate the heels and toes back and forth and find a midpoint somewhere between the heels and toes that feels the most natural to you, that feels the most comfortable and most grounded. And let's play the Caprice one final time in this position. Okay, so was this your ideal version? Was this the sound quality you were looking for? And if not, go ahead and continue experimenting with the placement of your feet and legs so that you can draw the power from the ground and use your body in the most efficient manner when performing this Caprice. Thank you.